And welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Zambies.
We have our good friend Zambies joining us today. We are on episode 260. Milestone. Man, that's a lot of episodes. Yep. Fuck, we ran around for a while. Damn.
Yeah. We're old.
We owed. Decrepit. This episode, we're going to be talking about Zambies and her life and everything else. But before we do that, we have to do a shout out to all the cool sponsors. We want to thank Midnight Heroes, makers of not only Dual Fates, but also great chibi miniatures. They will be at Warfare Weekend. They're going to be running some events and vendoring and a bunch of things. They're doing their summer sale right now, so go and check them out. We want to thank Creature Caster for sponsoring the channel. Not only do we thank them for awesome miniatures, period, they're also going to be at Warfare Weekend. And on top of that, I'll be doing painting streams of Judgment models and other Creature Caster products, which is their tribe things on My Mini Factory. With if you subscribe to that, you get the models and a 5th edition module to go with those models. Says out of stock. What's out of stock? And then we want to thank Turbo Dork for the great make of turbo shifting and metallic paints. They will unfortunately not be able to make it a Warfare Weekend this year, but they're going to send their love and some cool stuff. The cat ears are out of stock. Oh, darn. I have to just wait for it. But we are going to miss Turbo Dork. They're awesome, but they've got a lot of things going. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our channel and providing it out for everybody else. Make sure you go check out their page. We do have 2 affiliate links down in our area, so you can get cool stuff from them. Muse on Minis is now bringing a bunch of new products out for a lot of games. They got a new carrying tray and dice tray for MCP, so you can go check that out quite quickly. I want to thank Palabaron War Games for their awesome game out there, and we also have a link to that with all their cool stuff. If you do like Regimental Battle, they are the game to go with right now.
Indeed.
And like I said, their models are insanely. It's a really good company. The guys are really nice. Did I get everybody?
I believe you did.
Man, I keep on getting a spiel done, and it's like, man. What else? Anything else we need to talk about on that? Guys, Warfare Weekend is coming up, by the way. If you want to go, keep an eye on the Facebook page. Badges will be going on sale soon. We have a lot of good information coming up about that in the next 3 weeks. Classes are already posted, and we got a bunch of events that are posted, but the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks or something like that. Bunch more crap. I just finished a bunch of posts. Let's get down to the super important thing that everybody wants to know. Zambies, what are you drinking?
Well, I've got a black tea that I'm chasing with a red wine, and I opened the bottle, didn't look at it, no clue what type of wine it is, but it tastes good.
Didn't let it air out, doesn't know wine etiquette.
I'm not a connoisseur. I'm actually not a huge drinker. I haven't had wine in a while, so we might get a tipsy Zambies. But I figured this was a special occasion, 260. I wanted to cheer for you guys.
Did you measure it?
No, I'm not a classy lady.
It's a running gag. John always measures his alcohol. John, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I measured about 2 seconds from throwing these motherfuckers across the room. I'm drinking a Code Fireball.
Which is?
Mountain Dew Code Red and Fireball.
Mm. Have you ever had an Angry Balls?
All the time. He's sitting right there.
Oh, might be a good time.
You take a Angry Orchard hard cider, and pour it in a cup with some ice, and then you do about 2, or if you're frisky, 3 shots of Fireball. Stir it around. It smells like the holidays, and it tastes kind of like an apple pie. It's really good.
So you'll notice, everyone, that involves measuring.
No, I just eyeball it. I'm just helping other people out so they don't get alcohol poison.
That's why you measure it. Oh.
All right,
Yes,
so
in case anyone's wondering, it's 3 shots of Fireball in this slightly small cup I use. With 2 giant ice cubes. Oh.
my drink of choice today is, of course, look, I got it, bring it on there.
It's backwards.
Water. I know it's backwards because it's showing in the camera. Dork. So I will be drinking water for a little bit longer. Got my surgery done. Everything's okay. Got to get some stuff done, and they put me back on steroids. So, like I said, I'm all hyped up, and that's not a good thing for a gonzo to be hyped up. So we're gonna be doing that. Doing water for a bit. Some good H2O. We do have a couple of shout-outs today. One of the shout-outs, and we just found out about it today. The artist, Ian McKinty, was one of the artists for Invader Zim. He passed away at the age of 38. I didn't get to find out reason why, but Invader Zim is always dear to our heart because, Gur is amazing. And
yes.
So
the whole thing's pretty good, but Gur is the best.
Gur is the best. What was the other one, John?
Why is there bacon in the soap? I made it myself.
Exactly. Other one, the Iron Sheik of old, and I'm going to say WWF fame because he was, I'm pretty sure, out before they made WWE.
Oh yeah.
But he was one of the classics. Played a great heel, but actually a great guy. Was not super active on Twitter, but active enough. Always a very profane, positive thought. Like wonderful tweets like "Be nice to somebody today, you fucking jabroni."
Yes,
he was a legend. He got to be WWF champion for a year, which is awesome. Belleport's a great dude, and for the Iron Sheik, I have to say, fuck Hulk Hogan.
It's interesting. When I saw that come by my news feed, it reminded me of my grandfather. My grandfather was a very big wrestling fan, and because that was the thing, and he was all into it, and he was like Iron Sheik, and we were all into that. When I went over to his house, we would talk about wrestling, and so that's where I learned about wrestling stuff was from him.
I was big into wrestling back in the day. Then I remember my one buddy Victor. He first thing I posted, he had posted that. I'm like, first thing I thought of was you and me sitting in your house on Saturdays watching WWF wrestling.
Yeah. So that's a classic is the best way to put it.
Yes.
That the heyday and the start of it.
Yep.
Type stuff. And for because I was looking at my grandfather, and my grandfather was like, this is all fake, but these guys have got stamina and they've got abilities and they got all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they work and do what they have to do. And I says, yeah,
as
it's
a kid, we didn't realize any of that. It was just fun. And I hate to be like, no, back in my day, but it seemed more wholesome. It wasn't as there were some contrived plot lines. It is still staged. But like any stage combat, there's actual skill involved in that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's deadly too. You screw up inappropriately, you can get hurt.
Yeah.
So
it was wholesome entertainment.
Yes.
I have 2 older brothers. I grew up in a house mostly of men, and yes, I remember watching wrestling back then. I'm not up to date with it, but it was surprisingly enough, The Undertaker was my favorite.
What?
Undertaker is everyone's it's the connective tissue of wrestling because he was so long. He was in WWE. He's a connective issue from the early gen, the Roddy Pipers and the Iron Sheik and all that through to the WWE and the Rock and all that. So it's great. Undertaker's great.
Guys, as always, if you see something, say something. If you can do something, and if you can't, find someone that will. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I should have figured out what type of wine this was.
As long as it's tasty, who cares?
It's good.
There you go.
I had to take 2 swigs of buying water because it was that good. Nice and
Tasty.
cold, refreshing. Man, refrigerator makes some good shit. What, John?
He almost choked.
Okay, guys, we invited Zambies on here. First things first, how'd you get the name Zambies?
Oh, if you ever heard of like this like little game, it's an indie company, called World of Warcraft, WoW.
Oh,
I played for a long time, back to vanilla days, but at some point, I don't remember when, I was leveling an alt, and my main character's name was Decays, and that's where my last name comes from, because when I came on Twitch, I was going to go by Decays. The name was taken. So I was like, all right, I'm going to pick my alt name because I'm so original and really good at names and such a geek. And so playing WoW, I was like, I'm just going to pick my characters' names to be my online persona. Sure. But I had a, yeah, I don't remember what character it was, but my main used to be a priest. And I was running through leveling. And I think it was the Plague Lands, and there's undead there and zombies, and it's late at night. I'm leveling, and I'm being a goofball on Vent. You guys remember Ventrilo?
oh, yeah.
With my guildmates, and I'm going, help! Zambies are chasing me! Because I was trying to be a cute name for zombies, and then that just translated to me making a character named Zambies, and then I just became Zambies.
There you go. Well, look, comparatively, that's super original compared to someone who calls himself and everything John or Spencer.
Oh, camera went out. You gotta turn it back on.
No.
Why is it upside down?
It's not. It's fixed. I just gotta get it going.
You mean you're hitting with my
Technical
My
difficulties.
PTSD.
Please stand by.
Always. Yeah, there's always technical difficulty.
yeah, I mean,
Let me close it
as
out.
you say on my whole podcast, technology is our friend. Fully sarcastically.
It's fine. Everyone listening won't know.
Yeah. Hey, Captain. Upside down and backwards. Yeah, I mean, you know how Gonzo be, Legionnaires. Oh, Article
Flip it
Boy
down
going
and
with the
reverse it.
the Homestar Runner. The system is down.
Oh, of course. Now it's not gonna.
See,
So,
this
we'll
is why
go
we
and keep
need
on
you all to
talking.
donate so we can get a better camera.
For a low price of $59.99, you can help support these streamers right now.
Obviously, we need it.
Yeah. So hold on.
Suffer in
so-
silence and sleep.
How
I
did you?
can swear that this actually worked better when he showed it to us earlier.
It did.
So you started Twitch streaming.
Yes.
This is all you do? Is Twitch stream?
So I started Twitch streaming, and I was video gaming at first. About this August will be 4 years ago, and I did it just as a hobby because I needed to socialize, and I was like a stay-at-home mom and taking care of my kids, and I was like, I need interaction with adults. So I had a friend who streamed and was like, you should just stream gaming. And I think I started out with Diablo 3, Path of Exile, and then I was streaming classic WoW. And I was getting my feet wet, and I liked it. I was like, this is kind of fun. So I'm going to take this into my art background, and I'm going to start doing some illustration. And I was going to do digital illustration because I do have a degree in graphic design, and that's what I used to do. But then I found a miniature painter on Twitch back when they allowed hosting. And I fell into the hobby, and I fell deep. Like, I'm the type of person, neurodivergent, that's like, I'm going to try a whole bunch of hobbies. We'll see what sticks. This hobby did not go away at all. This hobby was just like, yeah, you're going deep down that rabbit hole. You love it. This is your whole thing now. So, yeah, I do Twitch streaming. And I started YouTube at the end of last year, so I'm doing some YouTube videos now. I kind of spread I kind of spread myself around on all the social media just to cast like a big wide net, but for the most part my like comfy little hole is Twitch.
Awesome. Well, we have been doing it for some time as well. Just sort of a fallback after. I mean, I got into it with on a completely different site rather than Twitch with Mouse John way back in the day. I hesitate to think of how far along ago that was, but it's super fun. It is a great way to get interaction and not actually have to deal with people in person.
Yeah. I have this thing where I'm like an omnivert or whatever they say. Like, I seem like I'm very extroverted and social, and I am with my people in my comfort zone, and like online I'm good. I can be very shy, and I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm not in my comfort zone. If I'm out in public, like it's different between being at like a con versus like I've got to go out to dinner or something. I have a social battery, and when that battery is drained, I don't want to be near anyone. Please leave me alone in a dark hole. I'm good. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So I guess you're just as fun as I am at random parties. Like, John, come to this party.
No.
Do I have to?
Does the party have a dog? Does it have food? Because I'm either going to be in the kitchen eating or I'm going to be petting an animal and staying away from everybody. I actually have a shirt in my shameless promotion, but my merchandise, I have a shirt that says introverted but willing to discuss miniatures that some people have bought. So if you wear it out, then, you know, maybe either someone will leave you alone or you'll find someone else who likes, you know, the hobby.
All right, so we're back up.
Football. I learned football just as self-defense against normies.
Self-defense against normies.
Self-defense.
All right, so we get some stuff going. I got it.
We got it working. Yay!
Yes. Camera's back up. Battery died.
Oh.
So, luckily, I have spare batteries. So,
good.
What do we think about this? You can actually see the color, and that purple is the actual purple there.
It's a very luscious purple.
Unlike last week, it looked blue. I actually am going to be buying I did buy a macro lens so we can get even better, cooler pictures out of it.
Snap.
So
fancy. I don't even have a macro lens.
What do you use as your camera, by the way?
I use a Lumix GX9, and it's got like I just use the 12 to 60 millimeter that came on it.
How's that show up?
That's cool. When I do my very rare hobby streak ones, I just have a Razer Keo. It's got the light around it, so it's perfect for just basic miniature stuff because you've got extra light now and you can see what you're looking at.
Nice. I use a ring light in between my DSLR.
Yeah, it's like that. It's just got a light around it. I just went for the super easy all-in-one package because I don't need that kind of... No one needs to see that kind of detail on my painting.
Enhance. Get up real close.
Because, I mean, I started wearing because my eyesight's not great. I started wearing a magnifier, and you look at your old models, you're like, "Oh, this looks good on tabletop, but up close, this looks not so much, John. Not so much."
Let's just take this off now.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but that's sort of the thing is you got to paint for what you want. Do you want tabletop? If tabletop is fine, who cares? You put on a table, looks good. I have to guarantee you, most people will be like, "That looks great, dude," and then you're done. Who cares, right? If you're happy, they're happy. It's all good. Actually, it's all good. I don't care what they think, but if they're happy, it's extra good.
So this is by the way, for the people who are wondering, this is the Emerald Boonhauer for the new Brian Blood's Army for Privateer Press. Really love this model. Love the Army. It's going to be a lot of fun. And talking about painting, I heard that you said your degree was in graphic design and so on and so forth. But you've actually done some competition painting this year. You want to talk about your time at Adepticon and talk about, was this your first time doing a competition piece?
Um, no. So last year at Adepticon, I entered into Golden Demon, and that was like my first big competition. I have done some online stuff, and I had a piece entered in at Dragonfall a few years ago as well for a bust that won best bust there, and then at Adepticon in 2022, I have to math in my head. I entered Golden Demon for my first time, and I actually got a pin, finalist pin, which was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
This year, I heard they gave out far less finalist pins, so this year I didn't do anything, but I did challenge myself to do two pieces, and I entered in single AOS, which was flooded with amazing pieces. So even though that was my favorite piece and by far I think one of my best entries, I didn't get anything. And then I did a diorama, which was my Lady Ollivander, like really big swirly piece. And that didn't get anything either. My pieces got stickers, but I knew that that one wasn't like up to snuff with like painting wise, but I entered it because I really like the concept. And to me, competition entries are more about getting the community to see your work, putting something out there, and then getting judge feedback. Because I'm still pretty new to the hobby. I've only been painting for about like 3.5 years. Even though I have a background in graphic design, that's a digital art. I don't have any painting like training or anything like that. There are obviously design principles that carry over, and I do have a leg up on certain things, but I have to learn how to paint miniatures, which is completely different. But yeah, so I did that for Golden Demon, and then I decided to also enter into Creature Casters Resin Beast, which is my first time doing that. And I didn't know until I picked up my piece because they didn't announce it at the ceremony, but I guess I won new champion.
Oh, nice.
I was in the
Awesome.
top 10 for the mid-size category. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to pick up my piece, and they were like, "Oh, did you know you got this?" So I'm like, "No, I did not."
That's awesome. What piece did
So
you
that
Yeah,
pick?
was a
that's
lot of
great.
fun. I painted the Lady of Arcana. She got nipples. I had to. I painted her on stream. So if you
Except the
don't know
nipples, of
me,
course.
I have a hashtag Free the Nipples campaign where I really don't like that I can't paint tatas on stream, but I put googly eyes over her nips, and it was a running joke for a while.
I think I
And
saw
so
that.
I need to take pictures of her with googly eyes to put up there. But
Because that
yeah,
makes it better.
yeah, it does. I put googly eyes on everything.
Oh, it's googly eyes are great.
But yeah, I would definitely enter Creature Caster again. I have a planned project for that, but that was my first Creature Caster model I have ever painted, and I really like their stuff.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
picked up a few at Adepticon.
What all did you pick up from Adepticon?
Well, they actually gave a goodie bag, which like I am really impressed with Creature Casters Resin Beast this year, even though I didn't do it last year, so I don't have any say in that. But they gave everyone who entered a goodie bag with a free model, like free models, like a bunch of stuff in there. So I got some
That's
models
awesome.
in there, and then I bought the butcher, the little fat dude with the cleaver. I love him. And then
I've
I
got him.
have one of the new variants for the Plague Angel.
I have the butcher over here because I'm going to be using, if they ever make rules for him for Judgment.
Mm.
So, because I bought it in like the little 3-pack. There's like a little 3-pack of those models.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bought.
I wanted the wolves, but they were sold out
Oh, yeah.
when I went back to buy them.
Yeah, they sell it
Not
pretty
shocking. Wolves are popular.
I love wolves. Oh!
To be honest, I bought from Brain Stopped.
Brain fart.
From Midnight Heroes, I bought, of course, the Wolves pack because Wolves.
Orky wolves on wargs.
Ah, I love it.
Look, let's be honest. When Age of Sigmar put out Goblin Wolf Riders, I guess technically it was Warhammer Underworlds put out Goblin Wolf Riders. I was like, I must have that box. Because those are great. Those are one of my favorites. Like a whole army of those, and I might have to buy that.
I want, like I've said it before, and they do have one box, I think, with the Stormcast where they have like the like Griffin Hounds and stuff like that. But I
Griffounds,
want
yeah.
I want a box of just like mounts and like pet companions.
Yeah, like
from,
the Griff
like-
Chargers and all that. Yeah.
From like all of the factions. I really don't like what I call wet elves, the Deepkin. I don't like
What
them,
else?
but I love their mounts. I love the like sharks and the turtles and
The
all of
turtles are
that. Like I just
amazing.
want them and take the elves off.
Yes, a lot of style in that. Actually, I must be saying, I'm like not a huge Age of Sigmar fan from the rules standpoint, but like from the what they've done to make the individual factions very distinct is great. Like I own some what are they called? Some Sigmarites, whatever you call them,
Oh,
armor dudes, Sigmarines. My brain's not
no
working.
the
clue.
Stormcast.
Yeah,
Wait.
Stormcast,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Mm.
My brain was not braining.
I was like,
I
where
have
you
a
go?
bunch of
Wait, wait. Oh,
Stormcast,
yeah.
and then I also have Trogs because an army full of Trogs seems great to me.
Mhm.
Not a lot of not a lot of night gobos to go with it, but Trogs.
My intro to Warhammer was Night Haunts. I
Okay.
got
Super cool.
I got a package because they were like cheap on Amazon. Just like one of my like fourth or fifth mini I ever painted was the Glavery Stalkers, and I really liked them. And I was like, I'm gonna build an AOS army. So I started collecting Night Haunts, and I loved it. And I've always preferred the AOS models because as much as I like sci-fi, for my art style has always leaned towards fantasy. So I prefer painting skin, flesh, bone instead of armor. That's just what I like. I like textures and stuff and, creepy things. But yeah, so I started doing that, which is going to segue into how I got into Warcry, because I was building AOS and then I'm like, this is a lot. And no one around me was able to like teach me AOS because I don't know about everybody else, but I'm not a learner that I can read things or totally watch a video and soak it in. I am very hands-on. I need to do it for me to learn it. And I was living in Florida at the time. I had nobody in the hobby around there. I didn't even have friends locally at all. So I was like, I'm not going to learn this. And then everyone kept telling me, you should just do Warcry because it's going to be easier. You can use your Night Haunts in it. Every AOS faction can be translated into a warband for Warcry. Get your feet wet with that. And I did. I was able to have a friend Discord call me and like literally play a game online. And that's what sparked it. And then just kept steamrolling into loving that game.
Well, I mean, we've been a big talker about games like that nowadays you've got to have a game that you can play in like 45 minutes, an hour type thing, or,
Not even as much as that, so it's more of the number of models. Like everyone's, the economy isn't great and everyone's making do. Not having to buy 100 models for your army is a hell of a bonus. Being cost effective is good. Like, I've got 20 models. I don't even know how many Warcry is. It's probably more like 10.
It's like 3 to 15. I
There
think
you
15
go.
might be the tops if you have like skinks and stuff. But
Perfect.
yeah.
Skanks.
So like 315 is plenty. That's you don't need any more. That's great. That's mighty. That's pretty much the sweet spot for a lot of miniatures games. That handful to maybe 20 at most models is great. That Infinity, Necromunda, Warcry, Kill Team scale.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
even
the AOS for the Night Haunts, what I picked was a Horde army. You know how many chain rasp I need for things?
I do. I
It's
fought
like,
against
I'm
them.
not doing all this.
Yes, it's crazy. Yeah, and I mean it's tough for a newer hobbyist to get into because it's daunting. I mean, I'm an experienced hobbyist. I've been playing for a while, and painting that many models is daunting for me. And obviously, we all want to paint our models. You know, it's I don't have to, but I want to. Having played Marvel Crisis Protocol and having played pretty much entirely fully painted, aside from some league games where I had some weird groups, is super fun. You know, makes the pictures of the games look really cool.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too is like with AOS, maybe not as much as 40K because 40K has a much longer, in depth lore that's been around a lot more. That for anyone new coming in, it can be very convoluted and hard to grasp right away. And that's why I think that getting your feet wet in smaller games, learning them, playing, and while they're not exactly the same, they give you the foundation to translate if you want to get into the larger scale games.
Yeah, a good war game foundation from any skirmish game will help you in bigger ones because you learn all the basics.
Mm.
How you move models. I mean, it sounds stupid to say it because we've been doing it, but how to move models? You'd be surprised when people don't understand. Like, how do I like? Okay, that's fair. Here's how you move the models.
Mm. But it's also like placement, and different
Yeah.
games have different rules. Like with Warcry, your base is going to be behind that line, like right touching, not the front of it. It's like the little things like that that you don't think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all stuff that we know. We've known. Like, it's okay. Collins and I have been doing this for a while. You know, so it's all stuff we know, but we and it's easy as someone in the knowledge to discount it for people. But that kind of stuff is great just for people to learn how to play. Just in general, like even getting into a small game is great because, and I miss some of those gateway ones. Like, you know, Warcry having all the Age of Sigmar armies available as warbands is great because it can be a gateway into the next game.
Mm.
You know,
And then for those people who don't have armies already, they have the box sets where it's like, here, everything you need for this warband, here you go. So that's really nice too.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a lot of customizable options, but there's also cookie cutter ones for people who just are getting in.
Well, I mean, it's also a lot easier financially to go, hey, want to play a game with 10 to 20 models? That's going to cost you, you know, maybe 50, 60 bucks, depending on how it is. Or do you want to play a game with 120 models and it's $3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one a while ago where we figured out the cost of games. It wasn't shocking to me, but it was kind of, the disparity in them is kind of telling. Like,
There aren't a lot of, I think, for the larger games, boxes that give you absolutely everything you need.
No.
Whereas, like with Warcry, you can buy, if you buy the starter sets, you have the terrain, the cards, everything, the core book, and 2 war bands. You can play with your friends. You can buy a box, split the cost, bam, there you go. Everything you need, nothing else.
Yeah, I love that. As Xanderford mentions Kill Team for 40K, and much like that, I love the Kill Team box. Here's your Kill Team and some terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. You put together your models. You can paint those, put some terrain, you paint them. And if everyone were to do that, suddenly you have a bunch of terrain for Kill Team. And if you decide to go further, you've got the beginnings as a group of some terrain for 40K.
Yep.
It's great. I miss that a little bit in some of the newer ones, but it's just cool. I still have some Kill Team terrain I use for Star Wars Legion or what have you.
I have my first Kill Team box back there. I got it at Adepticon. That's going to be my gateway drug to 40K. So, yeah.
Was it the one that you got in the VIG box?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Which
going
one
for
is
the
it?
Croots.
The Croots?
I like those. Yeah, they
I
look
love
so
the
cool.
Croots.
And they got a little doggy.
Yep. Fruit dog,
Alien
yep.
Puppo. That's
Just,
my
I mean,
jam.
like whenever we play the Blackstone Fortress, I play the Kroot. Mostly so after I kill something, I can do the sort of crossover Tusken Raider Kroot thing. Bark, 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 bark. No, Kroot's cool. It's actually been my favorite part of Tau since Tau came out. Actually, my buddy El Marshall gave me the Kroot from Kill Team to put together. He says maybe I can put them together to use them as Necromunda, which is another good thing. You can use some of these models in other games, and that's a good bonus of a lot of these models. And GW, I mean, GW makes a fine model. There you go.
I just got my first taste of Necromunda too. A viewer sent me the Escher gang, which I love these ladies.
Yeah,
pretty cool. So, yeah.
I also like them because they're kind of on point with the original Escher too. They're not like some of them have got a little far afield from where they started. I'm an old school guy. What can I say? But the Escher, I like that they're still very much the same aesthetic as they have been.
Punk rock and mohawk chicks.
I know. I love their hair.
That was my first Necromunda gang.
Mine was Redemptionists.
A little smirk. You're like,
that means he's a noob. He wasn't playing back in the day.
I liked me with
back in my day.
Wait, I mean, I'm old enough. I was working at a game store when Necromunda came out. We played the crap out of it. It's super fun.
Yeah.
A bonus of working, living in the area where GW had their headquarters for the longest time. We'd go and we'd convert up so much models. I love small scale gangs because you convert up the models you need. Like, oh, I've got this cool weapon. Cool, I convert it up, and it's got a story. My buddy the Jason has a Escher who has an assault cannon because we were doing a campaign, and just on whatever train they found, one of the guys set up a table, and it had like a crash bomber, and the tail of the bomber had an assault cannon. So we're like, all right, cool, you can spend an action to search, wreckage and maybe find something cool. So he searched there, rolled boxcars, and like, okay, you found an assault cannon. He modeled up an assault cannon for his Escher. It's super cool. It tells a story. I love that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can do that so much easier with the small scale than you can with the big scale stuff nowadays.
Yeah, you can name all your models and give them little personalities.
I still name my sergeants. You don't also need, but you know the sergeant's name for all your squads.
Yeah.
Xander says, what about small-scale, large battles like Epic? I'm sorry, I lost sport. I will say, with no irony or anything, Epic Armageddon is the best rule set GW ever made.
I don't know about that one.
It's old. I mean, it's been not really supported for a very long time. It's Epic scale, so sort of like what's all the Titans, that small-scale Titans.
Titanicus.
Yeah, Titanicus. Yeah.
I wanted Titans so bad. At Adepticon, I saw them all at I don't know if you were there in the room where they had all the Titans and they were just like battling each other, and the energy, everyone was so excited, and I got to pick up one and I was like, I need a Titan. They're expensive. I don't know when I'm going to get one, but I want a Titan and I want to bedazzle the shit out of it.
Yeah, those are the big scale. This is the smaller scale ones where I forget what it is, 8mm?
Yeah,
10mm, something
tiny.
like that. Yeah, the guys are super tiny, but it's just a good rule set. I love the big Titans. Actually, if you want the feel of a Titan without going all in on a lot of money, just get a Knight.
Yeah.
Knights are cool.
Still,
you can bedazzle the fuck out of that. That'd be great.
Maybe I'll do that. I just wanted a big one, so it would be like, you know how people have like those smushmallows or whatever they're called. Like,
you're gonna hunt the Titan?
I'm gonna do that with my Titan. I'm gonna go to bed at night and take pictures of just like me snuggling my Titan. Good night, tuck him in.
That seems like that's necessary. Oh, Gonzo Zanderwood has redeemed Hail Hydrate.
Oh,
Hydrate.
Good old H2O.
You should have done Chaos Titans. Oh, my Titan will be chaotic for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love the Titans. They're cool. I mean, even way back before GW was doing with Forge, or before Forge World exists, like, they're just cool to have on the table. I mean, that's the thing, I love the small scale games, but I also love the giant models. The only 40k army I currently have left is Titans. Well, not Titans, Knights, but they're basically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, big stompy robots, that's on brand for me.
Yeah.
Gonzo, you're painting a very orange octopus.
Yep, trying to get a first good, decent layer on it.
I was looking at it, I was like, that's an octopus, is it not?
Yes,
At
it is
first
an
I thought it was
octopus.
her hair, and then I was like, no,
Oh.
that's an octopus.
Have you seen like the baby squid thing from the Animal Adventures?
No. But I like tentacles. I said that on the internet.
Now you're going to have a lot of good fans.
All right. Let's see if we can see it on the camera if I need to break out the other camera. But it was like one of the things from their Kickstarter. It's a baby kraken. Don't know how it's going to show up.
Oh my god, that's so adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, I need that.
It's great.
Oh.
Like I don't play a lot of D&D, but I back this because I love the dog adventurers and the cat adventurers. They're just so cool models.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like one of the extras. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. Paint it up, it'd be great. I love cute little models like that, you know?
Yeah.
One of the things I found out after stop playing 40K was when you've got the time just to paint a model. You know, during COVID, I had the opportunity. I'd gotten mostly caught up on my Marvel Crisis Protocol models, which is probably never going to happen again. And I just painted a couple models because I wanted to. It was great.
Mm.
You know, you get so used to painting for a goal.
Yep.
Sometimes just like, I just want to paint this thing because it's cool.
That's what I tell people, and what I like to do, like I'll paint a warband or, you know, some type of tabletop model, and then I'll be like, I need to just paint something artistic expression, just whether it's like I'm trying to make it look display quality or I'm just painting something fun and like bonkers.
Yeah,
You just need a palette cleanser. You need to just like have fun with something and then go back to, you know, the business work.
Something
we used to get so into so into painting what we needed to for our armies, we forget about, like I was walking to the game store years ago and I saw Minsk and Boo from Baldur's Gate, and I'm like, hell to the yes. So I bought the Minsk and Boo model, put it together, and I painted the crap out of that because Minsk and Boo.
Because Minsk and Boo.
I mean, hold on.
Eyes, Boo.
Look, I don't like Funko Pops that much, but I've got Minsk and Boo because Minsk and Boo.
I actually have a Funko Pop, the Simba one, that is unpainted that you're supposed to paint, and I want to try to paint it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I say I don't like Funko Pops. I don't like a lot of them because they're all just very generic. You're like, who is that? Oh, it's so-and-so.
If you say so. But I love the very odd ones where it's like they had one that was the Celestial from Eternals, and it was like this big. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because you're doing something unique with it. But like all the guys like Agent Smith, like it's a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually, fun fact, I have 2 Funko Pops that are of me that 2 different people have made.
Awesome.
I don't know if you can see them. They're up there. Wait, where's my arm? But
Kind of,
yeah,
they're pretty far away, but yes.
yeah, both of those are me. I would get up and show you, but then you'd probably see my feet because I don't have socks on, and I don't want to get you in trouble.
No!
So.
Yeah.
Oh no, feetsies.
It's funny that they make those for like actors in movies too. I have a childhood friend who's like an extra, but you know, occasionally has speaking lines in movies, and he's got some Funko Pops of him for movies. I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's using it for cool. I'm not a huge fan of them in general, but you know, you don't have to seek John's approval for your joy. If Funko Pops bring you joy, enjoy. Your happiness makes me happy.
Enjoy. Find your joy.
Hey, everyone doesn't have to like the things that you like. People need to realize that. It's okay for you to like stuff people doesn't. It's okay. And for
And
Christ's
it's
sake,
also okay not to say anything about it too. Like,
that's my new Twitter hobby. Because I occasionally get in Twitter fights, but I'm like, someone says something, I'm like, I don't. You know what? It's okay. I'm just gonna move on. You know, if someone makes if someone's inviting, like, oh, hey, I think this. What do you think? Like, oh, well, I can chime in then. But if someone just says, I love this movie, cool. I'm on going on with my life.
yeah, there's always that one person who's like, no, you can't enjoy that because I can't enjoy that. It's like,
I mean,
okay.
as long as you don't say anything crazy about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is a finely made, well-crafted masterpiece of cinema. Like, all right, let's talk.
The
But
like
if you
the
just say,
classic
I
Cats.
love this movie. Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you remember Gonzo the Ranch. So I was painting Taskmaster for Marvel Crisis Protocol during my hobby streak, and all the Taskmaster fans found me. It was great. They're like, cool, good job, yay. But then you get their tweets, because I follow back everyone, and they're like, I can't believe how Marvel treated beloved villain Taskmaster. And I'm like, all right, look, I'm here to tell you he ain't very beloved.
Oh,
It's okay. You'll be okay. Move on.
Uh-oh, camera went out.
Did it?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
No, it's still there.
they're still there.
It just made a
It
weird
froze
noise.
for a second.
I mean, you're getting used
As
to the
long
new
as it
camera.
doesn't light on fire, you'll be fine.
Marta Michael Boyce says, and there's still Funko vendors at every convention. They were ever at one point. I don't know about that, but there was. I walked by a store, I'm like, Mind Games? Looks like they got board games in our local mall. Well, let me take a look. They did have a corner for like actual board games, like Settlers of Catan and all that stuff. Cool. But there was like an entire easy quarter of the restaurant that was Funko Pops. I'm like, holy crap. That's a little too much Funko Pop for John.
Okay, question though, because I'm the person that, oh yeah, I collect things, but I never collect them in mint condition. So I have a Funko Pop of like Toothless, and I have Funko Pops.
That's cool.
I take them out of the container. I want to see them. I don't want them to be in the box. Like, I'm not the person that's like, this is mint condition, I'm gonna sell it later. No, I'm like, I bought this. I want to enjoy it. I want to touch it. Like, I want to like it. Like.
Yep. I am a big one, and I don't hold against people, but if you bought something, you should take it out and enjoy it.
Yeah, right?
Like, I mean, action figures. All these guys came in containers. Some people like, I keep them. People complain because, so I'll go on. Hasbro went from window containers, so you can see the actual model, to artwork containers, and people were upset. How am I supposed to display my model? Well, you take it out and you put it in your display. No, I need it in the box still because it might be valuable one day. I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah, like I get the glass cases where you can pose them and then you keep them dust free. That makes sense. But like, it's like buying miniatures and just keeping them in the box. Obviously, we have our wall of shame, but like, yeah, you gotta take them out and play with them.
Yes,
absolutely. Touch them.
Like,
they're made to be touched.
Made up this display of Cobras because I wanted to change up what was behind me once in a while. Moved all the guys that were there away, put the Cobras here. So I had to probably turn the light on, make it easier seeing. Wow, that's bright. Oh God, there you go. So that's why I buy these, because I want to pose and I want to do. I've got cool ideas for displays installed. I mean, hey, it's stuff that brings me joy. Look, if you've got them still in card on the wall behind you and that brings you joy, it's fine. We're gonna judge you a little bit, but it's okay.
We're not gonna say anything about that at all. No.
Why would you not play with them? You can't make poses.
I know.
Like, literally, I did one where I had a bunch of random people. It was like Snake Eyes and Timber and The Thing and Vincent from the Black Hole together. I'm like, I would love a story on that. Just random fictional people together having adventures. It's like, you put that together, it makes my mind work like that, and I can imagine how fun that would be.
Yeah, just like put googly eyes on them and sunglasses and pose them. I did a video once on my early days of TikTok where I was like washing my models before I prime them, and then I was like, I took one of my daughter's Barbie's bubble bath and I put them in there. It was like a storm cast, and I think it was like an orc. And I was like, they're having a bubble party. And I was like, this is how I wash my models. This is perfectly normal. Because, I enjoy this hobby. I am seriously involved in this hobby, but also I don't take myself so seriously, and I like to have fun with things.
Exactly.
And it pisses some people off, but,
So you mentioned googly eyes. Officer Rob, who's one of my buddies, really, really wanted me to watch and review Transformers: The Last Night. So he bought the entire Transformers collection for me on Blu-ray. So I would watch The Last Night and review it for him. But when he gave it to me, he stuck googly eyes over all the Transformers eyes on the packaging, and it was great.
Oh, have you seen Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Not in a long time.
This is my Vortex mixer, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
That's what you're talking about. Very good.
Yeah, so every time I he's unplugged now because he won't reach. But yeah, every time I press this, the googly eyes just go.
So there's a YouTuber. Captain Mizzy did posture check. Thank you, Captain Mizzy. There's a YouTuber I watch, Kentucky Ballistics, and he's got like a chipper shredder that he put little eyes on, so they like shake when it's on, like it's googly eyes. It's not actually googly eyes, but it's like googly eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So he throws stuff in there. It's just, it's great. Like
awesome.
Not taking yourself too seriously. You can't take yourself too seriously. It's no good.
Yeah, nobody gets out of life alive, so might as well enjoy it while you're here.
A little bit of fun and frivolity will make everyone around you happier.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention yourself.
I'll drink to that.
Drink! Shots!
Ting! Yeah, take that shot of H2O.
Shit, yeah, bitches.
Do I need to take a shot? Hold on. Someone said I got...
How's the painting going?
You can see. I mean, it's going. I'm adding a little bit of detail before I start. Because the shading... So, what's black is going to stay black. So I'll have to retouch it up, but then I'll have to, shade and highlight, the black up a bit. But I want to do...
the black, you just got to highlight it.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying.
Sorry, I'm being pedantic.
You're being a turd bucket.
Turd bucket.
I am pedantic by nature. I am a project manager. I have to be pedantic by nature.
But like I'm doing all the
It's more fun with
rivets. This necro gold, so it's like a an antique gold type look. I'm like that fits for pirates.
Yeah.
I like that weapon. The weapon looks really nice.
Yeah, I like the...
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to do the runes. I don't know if I want to do blue or green runes inside of that.
Green.
Green?
Green. I'm partial. Like, my two favorite colors are green and purple. So I'm
tell Mizzy
partial.
It's the
I
green,
think,
purple, and orange. It's a great connection there.
It is. So if you have, I would do a warm, a yellow-green, because you have a lot of darker, cooler colors, and then the octopus is warm. So to balance that out, I think you should do, a yellow-green.
Sounds like someone knows color theory, almost like they got a degree or something.
I only had one class in color theory in the fundamentals. Most of my degree was commercial arts.
But you only need one class in color theory, really. I learned a lot from a lot of the painters at Games Workshop, of color theory and how to make sure your models have colors in the right spots if you want them to pop properly, so your eyes are drawn to the center.
I always, since we're on the theme of pirates, I'll say this. Color theory, they're not rules. They're more like guidelines. Okay. I tell people, learn the rules. Learn all of that fundamentals of color theory. Learn how to break them, because there is no right and wrong. You can take any color and make it look good with another color if you know what you're doing and you tweak stuff.
It's funny. Painting is like life, in which you should...
Chocolates?
No. Win if you can. Lose if you must. But always cheat. Not at games. At life and painting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yep. Just play with color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst thing is, it didn't work right. Repaint it.
Exactly.
I mean, I keep acetone in a bottle just so I take it and I'll get a Q-tip and I'll rub off paint if I feel like it's going to get too thick, and then reprime and go. I did that because I got a sculpted model from Captain Spud way back in the day from Lost Hemisphere, and he was like, I need people to fund me because I'm on strike. Cool, dude, here's money, make me this model. And he did. It was great. I got to see it, he did his blog, and I would see it as it was coming. But painting it, I was super tentative because it's a one-of-a-kind, and you get tentative then. And I messed up the face because I'm not great with faces, so I'm like, hold on, why am I worried about just acetone? Got it off, water, denatured it, and then primed it again and went again. It's easy. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
You
I've
cannot
talked-
fuck up a model
Okay.
so much that you can't fix it.
Yeah, it's just paint, and like unless you're caking it on there, I always just paint over stuff. I've only ever stripped a few models in my life, and I just usually paint over things. I was talking to Mindwork Studios at Adepticon because I bought some of their models, and we were talking about how a lot of people, especially probably people who are more on the tabletop side, that want to improve their quality of painting are always stuck painting these tiny little like 28 to 32 millimeter models with like the tiny faces. You're not going to get that great at skin work if you're constantly working on that. So these more boutique style models that are display pieces intimidate a lot of people because they're like, oh man, I'm going to screw up that. I'm not going to be good at that. Those are the pieces that are the best. They give you the most like canvas to work with that you can learn and explore your skills. Because if you have a larger canvas to play around with that paint, to learn that technique, you can then scale it down to work on the smaller models. So that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to be like, buy a bust, paint on a bust, play with this. Oh, that model's so pretty. The box art's so pretty. I'm going to screw it up. No, you're not, because it's paint. What's the worst that's going to happen? You strip the model, you paint it again. Like, even down the road 2 years from now, if you look back at that model and you're like, I could have done that so much better, strip it, paint it again.
Do it. Yeah.
You're not going to ruin the model unless you smash it to the ground. Like, just paint.
I actually like the smaller models because a little bit of color and highlight will trick the eyes into the effect you want.
It's stage makeup.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they do in the theater where they accentuate the features. So if you go up to somebody face to face on stage, you're going to be like, wow, it looks like you're wearing clown makeup. It looks weird up close. But then you see them out in the theaters, same thing with your tabletop models. You're accentuating certain features so they look good farther away.
So it quote unquote pops.
Yep, exactly.
And a little bit goes a long way. Like when I painted Black Widow, I had to do her twice because the sealant fuzzed up. So I had to paint over it, which is fine. It happens. It was like the one model in dozens. It's okay. But like she's got a little Black Widow symbol, like the hourglass on her. And I'm like, I'm not going to make that look right. But I'm like, you know what? I don't have to. I just put the red paint there in the vague shape. And your eyes go, oh, it's Black Widow. That's a Widow hourglass. You don't even see that it's only vaguely a Widow's hourglass. Your mind fills that in because it's what you're expecting.
Yep. It's your mind just with smaller scale will like blur everything together to create a wholer picture. Like that's wholer is totally a word. But yeah, and so if you're just doing tabletop and you're not worried about display quality, if you're not picking that model up and literally eyeing it on a magnifying glass, you don't need to worry about all of that stuff. Like when it comes to just pushing out tabletop stuff, I don't paint eyes. I'm team fuck eyes. It is
also team fuck eyes.
Yes. When it comes to display pieces,
I
totally do eyes. But for the most part, I'm like, nobody's seeing these eyes. Like
I'll do a little bit here or there. Like if it's I painted Mr. Sinister for Marvel Crisis Protocol, so I did try to do red eyes because that's like a feature. Yeah. Like on the average, like Cap or Thor or something, I ain't going for eyes. No.
Yeah.
Paint it black.
Yeah. Or
let the shading
I
do it.
White and like a black dot or something like that is as far as I go. I've done some KDM models, and if I get derpy eyes, which I always end up doing one eye, absolutely nail it. And then the second eye, I'm like, I'm struggling. I've painted this 5 times. You know what? She's blind in one eye. Bam. Got it.
Or just they're like me. I joked that I was going to get one of the Hasbro models where you take a selfie. It's you on a model. But I was worried the eyes were going to be correct. And be like, hey, these are wrong.
No, they get all pissy.
I might get one of those.
Yes, for a
refund. Might get one of those because they have Ghostbusters, and if it's like next level, if they change the name on your name tag to be your name, I'm fucking in. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a Ghostbuster. That'd be great.
So before we get into the media section, what are your current projects? And did any of my mods give you a shout out, by the way, for your Twitch channel? If not, I may have to have a question from talk to my mods for a bit.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Current projects. Well, like I said before, my current project right now is I'm working for the Fabulous Marines, and
Which is, give us a talk about it.
Yeah, so Fabulous Marines was the brainchild of Giggling Geekette about 3 years ago. She came to me and she was like, I have this idea. Some of us have been talking about how to make the wargaming space more inclusive. And she had the name Fabulous Marines, and she was like, do you want to help me create this project where we can do this as a community event? So I did the logo for it, and we kind of started small scale with just Twitch streamers, because every Pride Month Twitch does have Pride events. So we decided to coincide with that. And then last year we got some YouTubers along, and this year we've just broadened the net to like everywhere and anyone, because it's all about, well, one, charity. We're raising money for the Trevor Project, which, if you don't know, trigger warning, but it is about suicide prevention and what I like to call under the rainbow, because it's alphabet soup trying to say all those letters, and I'm dyslexic, I will say it wrong, but anyone under the rainbow, youth-wise, who's struggling and doesn't have that support, questioning, and having a hard time, they are there for them. It is a top-rated organization in the United States, and it really does help save lives. And especially right now, not getting political, but the state of America, this is a big thing that is really needed. So it's a great cause. We have raised a lot of money in the past. This is our third year. We're already at half of our goal, over 5,000 for this year, and the month had just started. But yeah, we're doing it for charity, and we're doing it to make an even bigger safe space for the hobby, for the wargaming scene, everybody to know that we see you, this is inclusive, and to create this nice environment where they don't have to worry about being themselves.
So how does someone get into that? If they want to participate in it?
Yeah, so the website is fabulousmarines.com. And you can check out all the information on there. If you want to get involved, you can do fabulousmarines.com/signup. And you can sign up if you're a content creator. If you're not a content creator, you just want to paint along, just do the hashtag Fabulous Marines on all the socials. Show us what you're working with. We do showcase the stuff on the website. It goes in manually just to keep it safe, so it'll eventually go up there. People are auctioning off their models. I will be auctioning off mine at the end on eBay. There's some up right now on eBay. But yeah, there's you can stream all month long with the charity streams that we have. We don't touch any of the money. All the money goes directly to the Trevor Project, so you don't have to worry about that. If you do support, if you donate, it is also a tax write-off. Just a bonus. But yeah. And,
does it have to be a Space Marine, or can it be any type of thing?
No, anything. So in the beginning, it was about wargaming and stuff, and that's why it was called Fabulous Marines. But people obviously don't paint Marines and stuff, so we have broadened it to you can paint whatever you want. People have done fun doggos, a lot of D&D models, knights, whatever you want to paint, as long as you want to do it in either Pride colors or just make it fun and be a part of the event. And this is not for anyone that is obviously under the rainbow. We have a lot of allies this year that are helping out, and it is really important to have those allies as well.
Cool. Thanks for our mods putting that out there.
To steal the saying, gaming is for everyone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everyone.
Everyone. Everybody. Every day.
We had that fun in BattleTech recently, and we won that one too. So.
Oh, that actually.
I saw their post. I saw it.
So if anyone cares, there's a whole fan-made, backed by Catalyst Games Lab, anthology of Pride-related BattleTech stories that you can just download for free.
Well, there was actually something that happened, I think, last week on Reddit about BattleTech, and
it was related to that. The mods kept nuking the posts, so
and they were like, no, and they were like, BattleTech's for everyone.
We're going to make an official one. Fuck off. Yeah, exactly. That's great.
And you know, we're all pride and, always accepting of everybody here. So
And
go ahead.
And
Joe.
remember, if you're on Twitter or something, you see those people being hateful, if it's actionable, report it. And if not, just block that fucker and move on, because they posted the Twitter algorithm. If you block someone, less people see their shit.
Mm-hmm.
The more people block them, the less people see their shit. So you're fucking hurting them just by blocking them and getting their Toxcast off your timeline. There's one thing to say is that Musk hasn't changed that. So that's a bonus point in his corner. He needs a couple of those.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter that much anymore, just because I don't like how much more toxic it has become.
Yes.
But that block button has been amazing. Like, this is like my standby, especially in my streams and most of my content, where I don't feed trolls. I let them starve. I don't. What most people want is they want attention. They want to rile you up. They want you to fight back.
Oh, yeah.
When you ignore them, what you do is you minimize their voice.
You take their power from them and they have nothing.
So obviously there comes to a point where there are some people that you can't ignore and you have to do something about it. But for the most part, a lot of those people are just sad little lives and they want to make other people miserable. So I'm like the person that if someone flips me off, I smile and wave. So, just keep being happy, staying in your lane. Don't let them bother you, because that's what they want. They want to get under your skin.
Yep.
And we want to show them that as loud as they can be, they're becoming more minimized. And we can be so much louder with our, positivity that we can drown them out.
Absolutely.
The reason why we have our saying.
If you guys don't like what people are saying on there, guess what? You can just move on. Be like, oh, their pride stuff, I'm not really interested in that. You can move on. It's all good. Doesn't hurt you for it to exist. Just move on. It's all good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was brought up with that lovely little phrase. Was it Bambi? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Live and let live. I treat people how I want to be treated.
Yep.
That is just, I don't understand why that's not a thing. But I'm going to keep planting good seeds, and hopefully they grow into a better environment for others.
Yes. Be the change you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Whooping Nazi's ass. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Punching Nazis is okay.
Violence is not okay unless you're punching Nazis. That's fine.
Yes.
So we're at the media section of our podcast. Zambies already knows our rating system. We already gave it to her. I have 7 things to talk about. John has 17, and Zambi has 85. So we're going to have a long time to go through this.
Spoiler, these numbers may be
slightly
off.
I didn't agree to this, but okay.
So let's see. I'll go with mine first, as I do have 7 things to talk about. But it's one that John can talk about too. So I watched John Wick 4.
Bit late, but welcome.
Well, I actually had it for last week, but we didn't get a chance to get to it.
Until you mentioned that.
So I liked it and I didn't like it. And I'm going to say this. One, John Wick is great. It's a lot of fun. This was some of the coolest action fight scenes I have ever seen in a long time. Great gunfight.
The dragon breath shotgun scene, the overhead one.
Oh, that was amazing scene.
I didn't see it, but that's okay. I do plan on seeing it.
Oh, okay.
And Donnie Yen.
Oh, Donnie Yen's amazing.
Also, with the best delivery of a fuck off line ever. Like, the best.
I mean, it's a great movie. The overhead scene, I was like, that was like playing a video game, a 3D video game. And I was like, it was really, really good. I really liked it.
Everyone they put in the movie did a great job.
Yeah.
Scott Adkins in a fat suit fighting Keanu Reeves, great. I love Scott Adkins. He did. Obviously, said Donnie Yen, but everyone was great.
And someone said it to me, goes, there wasn't much story. And I go, I wasn't expecting much story from this episode of John Wick, because at first this was supposed to be the finale of John Wick. We know that's not now because John Wick 5 is coming out. But
well, to be fair, before you say this, they actually wanted them to do John Wick 4 and 5 back to back, but the director said, no, I need some time to live life between movies.
Okay.
But also, being John Wick 5 doesn't mean it's going to be the same.
Correct.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it may not be the same as the previous John Wick. So keep that in mind.
Correct. And I kind of agree with them a little bit. There was very, I mean, if you want action and you want to sit there and be on the edge of your seat going, fuck yeah, holy shit, you're going to enjoy the hell of this movie. If you're looking for a deep romantic love affair with language, you're going to be fucking sad. But you should not be expecting that.
This movie has one theme. Consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie pays for the consequences of their actions.
I feel like there's a lot of movies where people are expecting things and they have to know, like Fast and the Furious movies. You're not going into that for a great movie. You're going into that to watch cars go boom, boom, and things go boom. Like, there are mindless entertainment movies, and then there are solid plots and, like, really good structures. There's beautiful movies. I was actually talking about this with another mini painter with The Cell, if you've seen that movie from the 90s.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And that movie's weird and probably not the greatest movie, but visually it is stunning. It is so gorgeous. And I like, him and I both want to use some of that movie to influence some of our pieces, because there are just some movies that are good for certain things and not good for like everything. So yeah, if you go into John Wick, you're going in for an action movie. You're not going in for like other stuff.
It's not like any of them had a deep story. It's not about the destination in this one. They're all about the journey.
Yeah.
The excitement is the journey from the beginning to the end.
Yeah,
it
was great. I had a good time. I can see where people that were expecting a little bit more dialogue and stuff like that would be kind of upset. I get it. But I was fully going, this is John Wick kicking the shit out of everybody every second he takes a step. And I was not disappointed. And
getting his butt whooped a bit, too.
Oh, yeah.
I like that a lot of modern heroes. They get their butt whooped, too. It's not just... So we joke about it. The Rock has a clause where he can't get beat up. Does
he really? I didn't know that.
The Rock, Jason Statham, a couple others. And I have a thing to say for those guys. Guys, fucking grow up. It's okay if you get your butt whooped. The greatest action heroes, which you will not be, let themselves get beat up. Bruce Willis in Die Hard spends the entire movie getting his ass whooped.
It's still one of the best movies.
That's what makes people it good. Want. Don't they realize that? They want a comeback kid. They want to see, like, exactly. If you win all the time, it's boring. We want to see you get your ass kicked.
We the feel Superman
bad
problem.
for you, and then you come back, you know?
Yeah,
that's why I hate Superman. I'm sorry if anyone's a Superman fan. He is such a white bread dude that, like, he's so powerful.
But a good Superman movie should actually go beyond that. It should be moral aspects that challenge him. It should be other things. But no, it's hard to write. Like, I don't fault them. It's so hard to write. How do you write that?
Yeah.
But I understand that 100%. Like Xander says, Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan gets his butt whooped in all his movies. But he's the comeback king. You want him to get his butt whooped fighting normal, then suddenly he gets some stuff, and it becomes crazy, crazy ass whooping time. But anyways, Gonzo, what do you give John Wick 4?
Sorry, I had someone banging on my door. Child. Were you asking
Gonzo, are you muted? I think Gonzo's muted.
Gonzo, are you muted?
Oh, I am muted. I had to mute it for a second. Sorry. My dogs were barking and I totally forgot about it. I give John Wick a 0, but I also want to say that Donnie Yen has a new movie, Ip Man 5 is coming out. And I'm like, hopefully it's good because the last one wasn't that great, but I will watch it because I love him.
Donnie Yen is a treasure. Yeah. He's great.
So Zambies.
I also give it a 0, obviously.
What's your thing you want to talk about? You can talk about Diablo 4 since you said you didn't have a lot. So what are you giving Diablo 4 right now?
Ooh, okay. So no spoilers. I haven't made it to the end of the storyline yet, but everyone tells me the storyline is so good. And so far it is really good. And I'm super excited to get to the end. So I am giving Diablo a 0 right now. Like it is
absolutely fair.
'Cause I played, I still have my original Diablo disc for PlayStation. The old one. The OG. I played that, I didn't play Diablo 2, but I had a friend that I used to go over his
Shame.
house that I lived at for a little while, and I would just watch him play Diablo 2. Like, we'd get home from school, and he had a bot running that would go during while he was at school to run Diablo 2. So I didn't play that, but I played a shit ton of Diablo 3 when that came out. And Diablo 3 was nice, but it was so repetitive and
Very much
stuff
so.
for a while that it was like meh. Where I feel like I'm hoping Diablo 4 is not like that, and so far the story and everything, and it's visually stunning. It is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that too. Arnold Michael says is 4 better than 3. 100%. 4 is better than 3.
Yes, I totally agree. So far, like I said, I haven't got to the end of the game. It's been a really busy week for me, so my highest level
Miss Goodblood,
is only 24. But I love it. And oh yeah, random part, the voice actors are really good.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've always wanted to do voice acting. I actually hated my voice before I started streaming because I have a slight lisp and stuff, and I was always self-conscious about it. But so many people said they liked my voice, so I started doing a little bit of ASMR for fun and things, and now I really want to maybe tinker into voice acting. So I listen to that a lot more, and I really love it in Diablo 4.
My first thought when you said that was like, I think you do fine at voice acting.
Anyone have any roles for me?
You don't do a lot of Twitter, but check out George Ledoux on Twitter. He's a voice actor, veteran. He's done a lot of BattleTech stuff. He might be able to get you in. He does some stuff occasionally where he gets voice actors together and they voice act like some media or do something that he's done. So, I mean, worth a shot.
Yeah. Be a fun hobby to try.
Yeah.
John, what you got besides the John Wick?
I mean, I finally finished Citadel.
What do you think? I finished it.
Imperfect. It was very imperfect.
I thought it was fun.
I feel like
Masterpiece?
they rushed a lot of storylines. I feel like they had a 12-episode season worth of stuff that they crammed into 6 episodes.
What is Citadel?
It's an Amazon Prime spy thriller.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
It's enjoyable. At no point would I call it not enjoyable.
Correct.
A little pretentious in the cinematography occasionally.
You mean the spinning of upside down cameras constantly?
There's a couple scenes where it's appropriate, but just like every episode, you're like, oh, here comes that fucking scene.
Here comes they turn the camera right side up.
I also feel like Richard Madden, who's the male lead, is not the perfect lead, though he felt like he got better towards the end.
That's the guy from Game of Thrones, right?
I don't know if he's from Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but he was in Eternals. He played Icarus in Eternals.
I have to admit that I watched about 10 minutes of that movie and turned it off.
It's way better than you probably give it credit for. It's different, but you definitely have to be ready for a different type of Marvel movie.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I started it and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe later, and never went back to it.
I'm fully for if you're not feeling a movie, get out of it because you're not going to give it a fair assessment then. But no, I enjoyed it all. I just feel like they had too much going on for the amount of episodes. I also have no idea how they spent $300 million on 6 episodes. Fuck's sake, guys.
300 million?
On 6 episodes.
Oh my God.
I don't even know. Like, it's pretty. It's well done. Like, there's no quality lacking in it at all. But
how much did they spend on the Lord of the Rings?
The Rings of Power? I don't know.
Because I want to know the difference in some of that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Rings Power.
How did you guys feel about that? That's a bomb I'm dropping right now.
I didn't have a problem with it, but I also took it that I went in there that people are reading too much into it. They're reading too much. I
watched the first episode and never went back.
I watched it all. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But
I enjoyed the first episode, but not enough that I was like, I must see the rest. I was like, this is fine.
There were flaws. Like, if you're a diehard fan and you're going through the story, Amazon didn't have the rights to all the stories, so they had to make up their own stuff.
Correct.
And obviously, it does not fit in that. So I went into it thinking this is an alternative universe. I'm going in for an enjoyment, entertainment ride. This is not fully connected to the Lord of the Rings at all. So I enjoyed it. Now, if I were to match it up to Lord of the Rings, I would have had some issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But let's be honest, The Hobbit wasn't exactly perfect either.
No.
I agree with that. The Hobbit did have a good soundtrack, though.
I mean, also, I enjoy The Hobbit. It's just flawed. You're like, okay, this is fine. It's good, but it's flawed. I mean, we've been lucky enough that we've seen the pinnacle, probably, of fantasy movies come out in our lifetimes, being the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And we'll probably never reach that again. But people keep thinking like, oh, this. Like, no, that's the top. That's the top of it, not the average.
Yeah.
If we want to get back up there, we need to have original content.
Yes.
We can't keep remaking stuff or rewriting stuff. We need to, like, Dune. It's been a long time since I've seen the original, but I saw the remake, and I actually enjoyed it. Now, then again, I am not by the book, so I can't tell you where that measured, but I knew going into it that it would be a multi-series, so I wasn't surprised at the end. And I really did like Dune. Now, that's cool, but I do think that people need to start writing original content because I am kind of sick of remakes.
Yes.
But
100%.
30 years plus, 35 in this case-ish, 30, 35 years, is okay for a remake.
Yes,
especially
but can
when
we
the first
stop
one
making
was
Spider-Man movies, please? I'm so freaking sick of Spider-Man movies.
Unless it's Miles Morales.
But No Way
Because it's
Home
an animation. I love
was
Miles.
so good.
But I'm just...
Like-
and Batman movies, I'm done. I'm so done with it.
I don't know. Watch out.
Just
Gonzo
stop.
loved the Batman. I enjoyed the Batman.
I liked
The
it.
new one?
The new one.
The new one I liked because it was dark and it was more in line with the comics. He was more a detective.
Yes.
So I liked that. I liked it.
Yeah.
It felt a little like Sin City, like with teetering on the cinematic style. So I did really like that. I liked the characters. I like that dark, gritty look. So I did, and I freaking hate Twilight, but I didn't mind Robert Pattinson. I thought he did it like his very like emo, grunchy.
I love
like,
that everyone
dark
keeps
look.
doing a different take on the characters. If you're going to redo something multiple times, like Batman,
Yeah.
I love that each person is doing a different take on it, like the Joker.
Yes.
Every single Joker is completely different than the other, and I'm fine with that. That's how you keep remakes from becoming stale.
Yes. So I'm okay with like certain things are done right, but
Yeah,
I
we do
am
need to see more
just
originals.
sick of they're just let's remake, let's retell this story. If it's
Well,
been
they're
a
like,
long time, that's fine.
We're going to
but,
remake
yeah.
Highlander. Why? Just make a new idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Then again,
this is
if it's
our
gonna have,
hour of
what's his
Zambies and
name on
John ranting about remakes.
Hey,
Now, this is really good
it's
content. I'm
valid
just sitting here
media
listening to y'all going
section.
back and forth. It was really good.
well, it's funny because people complain so much about all that, but then
Yes.
then a new property comes out and they don't watch it because I don't know what this is. Like you're perpetuating the system.
Yes. You got to get away
Yeah.
from remakes.
Something new comes out, you got to give it a chance. You know.
Exactly. Like some things are gonna flop, but there could be a core idea in there that could be really good, and you need to explore that. So I feel like with everyone's minds, we all come up like nothing is an original idea anymore. Like
No,
people
there's only
think
7
of
stories.
things. Yeah, but you can put your own spin on something.
You can make
which
it
is-
fresh.
Yeah, which is fine. I think the thing that I hate is just like retelling the same story. I do like in the new Supermans that they've kind of been like they drop out Uncle Ben and they're like, yeah, you already know how Superman became Superman. It's fine. That's good. Please stop retelling like the original stories of like how someone became something because we know it.
Yeah.
Like the new Spider-Man ones from Marvel, I thought were very well done because you didn't even hear it. You haven't even heard Uncle Ben. Who's Uncle Ben? Doesn't exist. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
They tell it in a different way. It happens in a different way. In this case, in Aunt May and No Way Home, and it fucking kills you. But also the way that movie wraps in the other ones is just so good.
Wait. Did they actually remake The Crow? Because I have deep feelings. Because I don't know if you can tell by me, but The Crow literally was a staple of like my flowering as a child. Okay, I love that movie. And like everyone I talk to has either never seen it or they love it. It's like a cult classic that people either love or they've never watched.
I roast the crow every year for Halloween.
Oh yeah.
It's like that is like
It's a perfect movie. Like
it's
like,
it is
perfect.
it's perfect. You have a love story. It's poetic. It's dark. It has cinematic. It's beautiful. It it
the
tells
only
a
part
good
that kills
moral
me is
story.
that Brandon Lee died filming
Yeah.
it because Brandy's so good.
Yeah.
They
it's such
did
a good
do
movie.
a remake of The Crow. They're rebooting it completely,
Mm.
and Bill Skarsgård is playing the Crow.
I'm okay with that because I feel like he might do a good job. He's got the aesthetics.
I
and
feel like they could make it a little more horror-y,
Yeah.
and that might be better.
Horrors.
Horror
I'm
movie.
just so glad Jason Momoa is not doing it. No offense to him, but
It
I
would
don't.
not have fit.
I don't want a pretty boy. Okay.
I don't think that would fit him. He's
Yeah.
got a style, and I don't think that's his style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, as the kids say, fucking slaps. Okay. The soundtrack for The Crow is
Yes,
god amazing.
Would you say it has a lot of bangers on it?
Yeah. It's
I have
my
the Crow
jam,
soundtrack.
yo.
I have it on CD, on my computer.
Oh yeah.
It's,
Oh yeah.
that is, I mean, grew up with the comics.
Okay, so-
when I was in high school, so it is near and dear to my heart. I love The Crow.
I'm gonna
Oh,
have
yeah.
to rewatch The Crow now because I mean I remember it and I loved it when I first saw it and I was like, man, this is different.
Gonzo, you can wait until Halloween, 4 months.
No, fuck that.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Are we watching The Crow for next week? Hold on.
Are we?
We
We're
should
watching
just
The
have a
Crow for
movie
next
night.
week.
I'm dying
No.
to get so many people. Every time I hear someone has never seen The Crow, I'm like, I'm gonna make you watch it. It's like that's how deeply I love that movie.
I'm worried that maybe a little bit of me loving it is nostalgia, but I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I don't care. It's still, but there's so many good, like
It's
I don't
also
know, like
the perfect
morals and
3-act
teaching in
movie.
there. Yeah,
You find out stuff, the hero does what he thinks he has to do, and the hero has to do the stuff he didn't know he had to do because of complications.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
And everyone just plays their character well in that.
Oh yeah.
It's grimy in all the right ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I can't wait for. I mean, I hope they do really good with the new remake. And I like Bill Skarsgård. He's got the chops. And he's got the
Yeah.
look. He's a skinny guy, tall, and I don't want to say creepy looking, but he can pull off the creepy look.
He can pull
Yeah.
up creepy looking.
Because
I mean, I
that's
think
like
last-
it wasn't about him being this buff, sexy dude. It was about him going through this turmoil, and he got his powers from the supernatural realm, and that's why he was able to do what he was able to do.
Like,
So
people understand
yeah,
watching The Crow, like Brandon Lee, the son of Bruce Lee, was a great martial artist.
Yeah.
And he didn't use that during The Crow for the most part.
Yeah, very little.
You don't very little of it. You don't understand. Like, he was cast because of the rest of his look and everything, which is perfect for it. And his
and that's a
charisma-
good example of a movie of a hero who gets his ass kicked and
Yes.
loses, but comes back.
Yes. Well, Gonzo, I hope you don't want to talk about the rest of your movies because we took it up by talking about remakes.
This always happens, but that's great because this is, I mean, bringing up The Crow like this, and we're talking about soundtracks. So I'm watching a show called Griffin, which is on Amazon Prime, and it's a German show about a guy that has powers and goes to this other world, and it's interesting. Like the show is kind of based in the 90s. Like early 90s, so there's like no cell phones or anything, but it's all like Soundgarden and
That's the early 90s.
grunge and all this stuff, and I'm just like sitting there going, I'm getting into it like, all right, the soundtrack
Well,
is great in that show. We haven't finished watching it, so I'm not gonna give a rating, but a soundtrack can kill or break, and the soundtrack sets the tone for the show.
What's
Have
I love
you
about new
ever, like-
shows? Look at Willow and then even Citadel. Just putting songs at the end just to give you that feel at the end to keep
Yep.
you going is great.
Have you ever listened to a soundtrack and be like, this soundtrack's amazing, and the movie sucks?
Yes.
Or like the other way? We're like, this movie
Also,
would
yes.
be great if they had better music. Like, what is this?
Like
it-
Guardians of the Galaxy, half of it rides in the fact that the soundtrack is
It's so
damn good.
Yes.
I can't just divorce it from it. Like Guardians 1 to me is good,
Mhm.
but the soundtrack makes it great.
Yes. Agreed. And that's like the
And-
same, like for my Marvel movies, Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, Ragnarok, like that style where it's like comedic, but then it has just like really good songs with it that,
Well,
I don't know.
even a score can do it. Like, there are scenes from movies that I remember because of the score.
Yes.
Because it hit. Like Avengers, when the helicarrier, not the rest of it, when the helicarrier comes up, the soundtrack at that point was spot on and perfect. Star Wars is a lot of it. Even Harry Potter's theme is fucking iconic and gives you that. Last week I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater, and that soundtrack is just, it just gets you. You hear it and you're just like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a song that like I didn't think was Interstellar. It has amazing scores from it, like the piano and stuff. It's just like, it's very dramatic. It's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of them like that, and I actually think people should explore them more often. You'd be surprised how many just hit you the right way, and they're great for background. Sometimes you need background music. Gonzo watches TV in the background. I can't, because TV comes on and I'm like, I heard.
I do that in the background, but it has to be stuff that I've not seen.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just
I
like,
do
it's
that in
just
the background, but
after
it has to be
reviewing,
stuff that I've not seen.
movies and TV shows for years and years and years, I pay attention now, trying to see what's going on with that. So
yeah,
it's a my John thing. But soundtracks in the background, I can just go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, that's our episode.
Yes.
Oh.
It is now 8:30.
I was just getting started.
We'll get Zambies on for a movie podcast. There we go.
I would love it. I absolutely love, like, I don't get to watch movies as much as I want to now, but growing up, movies were like my escape.
Oh yeah.
Like, from reality, it was my coping mechanism. And I used to work at a movie theater when I was a teenager, and I got to see movies for free. So like, I was such a big movie buff. Like, before we started this episode, we were talking about The Beastmaster and how much I love 80s fantasy movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, I am down for a movie night.
Well, guys, Zambies, it's been amazing sitting here talking with you. It's been really fun.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. Make sure you check out Zambies' channel. When do you stream?
I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central, which is like 5 p.m. London time. I only know that conversion because math is hard. But yes, that's when I do that. And then I have like bi-weekly videos on YouTube.
Okay. Got any cool projects that you're going to be working on besides the Fabulous Marines? Anything you want to pimp?
I have some cool commission pieces that I'm working on. The KDM one. I have a cute little skeleton dude. And then I have some really awesome busts from Mindworks Studios I was talking about before that I would really like to get into and painting. But like, my new theme is make fun things. So I'm all about like pushing the boundaries of incorporating other types of art into miniatures.
Awesome.
All right, guys. We're gonna send y'all off to the painting dad. He's working on some Warhammer stuff, so we're going to raid off to. Make sure you stick around and hang out with him. Make sure you say hi and stuff. As usual, if you see something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you can't, find someone that can. Please take care of yourself. We'll see you at the next convention. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm Zambies.
Here's this outro music. We also talk during our outro music so they can hear you. So say something really horrible.
I love your face. It's beautiful. Be excellent to yourselves and others. Small acts of kindness go a long, long way.